state of Christian churches during the rise of the NSDAP, Nazis' subsequent rejection of Christian teaching and abolition of the New Testament. Let's compare several speeches by a well-known contemporary anti-cultist, Archpriest Alexander Novopashin, with those of the Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. For me, the Ukrainians are all cannibals. I called them so because I saw them like that. These inhumans spill human blood, the blood of children and women, our blood. They devour people's lives and feed on suffering. So who are they? Cannibals. And all those who committed terrorist attacks on our land, whom I listed earlier and whom I didn't name, are cannibals. It is useless to put cannibals in a cage. They'll still remain cannibals, even if you keep them there all their lives. Therefore, cannibals must be destroyed. Vice President of Ratsirs, Archpriest Alexander Novopashin. My feelings as a Christian points me to my Lord and Savior as a fighter. It points me to the man who once in loneliness, surrounded by a few followers, recognized these Jews for what they were and summoned men to fight against them, and who, God's truth, was greatest not as a sufferer, but as a fighter. Adolf Hitler. Speech on April 12, 1922. Alexander Novopashin. In 2020, the President of the Russian Federation issued a decree approving the new version of the strategy for countering extremism in the Russian Federation until 2025. It repeatedly emphasizes the need to protect traditional Russian spiritual and moral values, which have been upheld by the Russian Orthodox Church for more than 2,000 years. The Church itself is assigned a specific role in countering extremism and terrorism. In doing so, the state acknowledges that without spiritual and moral education, it is impossible to unite the people, fill them with the sacred spirit of patriotism, and instill in them the virtues that will allow them to be called a great nation. July 20th, 2022, Archpriest Alexander Novopashin, and I continue my run. The advantages for the individual which may be derived from compromises with atheistic organizations do not compare in any way with the consequences which are visible in the destruction of our common religious and ethical values. The national government sees in both Christian denominations, Catholicism, Protestantism, the most important factor for the maintenance of our society. Speech before the Reichstag, March the 23rd, 1933, just before the Enabling Act is passed. Today, Christians stand at the head of this country. I pledge that I never will tie myself to parties who want to destroy Christianity. We want to fill our culture again with the Christian spirit. We want to burn out all the recent immoral developments in literature, in the theater, and in the press. In short, we want to burn out the poison of immorality which has entered into our whole life and culture as a result of liberal excess during the past few years. The Speeches of Adolf Hitler, 1922 to 1939, Volume 1.